What's up, everybody? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. My name's Michael Edward, former award-winning hedge fund trader, now the current head trader at TTG. For those that do not know, True Trading Group is the fastest growing, highest rated premium online educational platform that is available to the retail trader. At True Trading Group, we combine a professional educational curriculum that is both in-depth and complex, yet still very easy to understand and implement quickly. We pair that with premium investing tools from some of today's top financial tech companies that if you purchase on your own, will be worth well over $4,000 a year. As a member of True Trading Group, you get top-of-the-line trading tools from companies like Benzinga, TradingView, Quote Media, Polygon, CBOE, Trade Ideas, and so much more. To top it all off, we are a community of active and educated, like-minded, and helpful traders and investors led by TTG's team of full-time professional trading moderators that have over 100 years of combined trading experience, currently sporting a collective win rate of about 80% with a focus on stocks, options, crypto, futures, day trading, swing trading, but also long-term investing. At True Trading Group, folks, your results matter, your success matters, and it is measurable through your P&L. This is your first time as a viewer on the TTG live stream. Welcome. We go live 6 nights a week, Sunday through Friday on this YouTube channel, but we're also on Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch, where myself and other TTG Pro Trader moderators and special guests will drop golden nuggets and provide you with free lessons that can help you become better traders and investors immediately. If you've not done so already, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, turn on your notifications. Don't ever miss out on what it is that we talk about here on these free trading streams. It's now time for you all to get ready to learn, trade, and profit. Here's your very first lesson. Why should you listen to anything that I talk about on these lives? It's crucial you understand who you're listening to. Listening to the wrong information can cost you both time and money. I know for a fact you do not have an unlimited supply of either of these, so allow me to qualify myself to you. I started my career working for a fund in New York City, my very first job out of college. Then 2008 happened, and that was the Great Recession and stock market crash. Also was the same year, though, that I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. But before I was ever able to touch $1 of the fund's money, first had to go through an intensive educational training program, had access to some of the top trading tools, was part of a community of like-minded traders that ensured my success. That's exactly what the TTG platform is based on here now today. Let me tell you now that we're formally introduced, I'd like to tell you how this live stream is going to go down. We're going to start things off with an open floor blanket Q&A session. We're going to give some time for people to log on. You guys can ask me whatever questions are on your mind, individual stocks, the overall markets, whatever it is. We're going to break it down. We'll discuss it. Then once we complete the Q&A, I'll spend about 15 minutes sharing with you all how you can join the TTG platform, what free gifts and incentives and discounts that we have for you, that those of you that want to join the TTG platform, become part of the TTG family here tonight. That'll take me about 10 or 15 minutes. And then once we're finished with that, we're going to dive into the main topics of the live stream here tonight. A wild whipsaw, whiplash, pinball day in the overall markets. The news headlines that continue to come out are so contradictory and are flip-flopping back and forth from day to day, not even day to day, from hour to hour. You had reasons why the markets were as strong as they were yesterday. Those reasons were completely erased today. And then you had news headlines today with Russia and Ukraine that were making the markets go down, then back up, and then back down. And what I'm going to do with you guys here today on this live stream is I'm going to literally break down for you step by step what has happened in the markets over the last 2 days. What made the markets go up yesterday? What changed this morning that erased the reasons why the markets rallied yesterday? And we rallied. We were up over 700 points on the Dow yesterday. Why was that erased today? What happened? What were the news headlines that made the markets go down, then up, and then down again? We're going to go over and we're going to talk about that. All of that craziness today led me to actually not make a single day trade today. That is not very common. It does not happen often. I can probably count on one hand how many times I'll go through an entire trading session without making a day trade throughout the course of a year. But the action today was so news driven that it was creating a real whiplash action where it was like the markets would go down 4 points, then up 3 points or 4 points, and then back down 4 points. And it was just like, okay, every time I would feel comfortable with saying, okay, I feel better now about strength, about weakness, about picking my direction. What do I want to go after? You know, like I said, which sectors and stocks are strong or weak? And every time I felt like I was getting ready to go after something, a news headline would come out and the markets would then do the opposite. I'm like, okay, well, now let me take a step back. Let me digest this news. And then just before you get ready, another news headline comes out and the markets go back down the other way. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to get myself spun around and wrapped up in this chaos. I'd rather not make money than lose money any day of the week. So I sat back today. I was a spectator today. I was an observer. And we're going to talk about today on this live stream, how can you have the ability to make that call? A lot of people will really struggle on like choppy or whiplash days, over trading, right? How many of you are guilty of over trading where not much has happened, but yet you find yourself in this deep red hole because you just keep trading and trading and trading, when sometimes, guys, the best trade is no trade at all. And for me, I'm not saying there weren't good trades out there today. There were some individual stocks that had some fantastic moves. Lockheed Martin, US Steel, Cleveland Cliffs. There was a lot of stocks that were very weak in the morning today. You could have caught SPY put options. There's a lot of action in the market, but the direction kept going back and forth. And it was something that I was not necessarily looking for on the day. So I decided, okay, I'm going to be a spectator. So we're going to talk about today, how can you identify early that that's the type of day that you're going to get? So how can you prevent yourself from over trading? Too many people realize that they're over trading when it's too late. We're going to talk about how to identify that a little bit earlier on in the day so you can save yourselves from grinding yourselves into a hole. Okay. Then when we're finished with the main topics, I will show you all the TTG platform, the tools, the resources, everything that you get included with your membership. Remember, folks, there's no upsells for courses and tools at True Trading Group. So I'll show you everything that you get that's included. And then that's how we'll finish out the live stream. Okay. But first, let's start the Q&A. All right. Guys, don't be shy. Don't be embarrassed. Fire away. Type your questions. Begin typing questions in chat right now. And let's go ahead and begin that Q&A. I keep getting stopped out of trades too early. How can I avoid this, or what should I change? Okay. So the person who's asking this question, if you're getting stopped out too early, there is a very high likelihood that your stop losses are in the wrong place. This is something that happens a lot with new traders because they don't really understand where stop loss placement needs to be. And there's a lot of people that are out there that talk about, stop loss placement, and a lot of people give incorrect information. Some people will say to you, oh, just buy a stock and set a stop loss at 4%. That's like a number that you hear a lot. That's wrong. That is not the correct way to set stop losses. When you're looking at a chart and you're looking at a trade setup, you have to identify where the support and resistance levels on that particular chart are. Every time that you're going to be getting yourself into a trade, there's going to be a reason for it, or at least there should be a reason for it. If there's not a reason for it, you really got to make sure that you join True Trading Group so you can understand how to game plan and come up with a trade idea. But when you identify, let's say, hey, okay, I want to get long this stock. Let's say the stock's at $10. You got to identify where is your support level. And then if the stock breaks beneath that support level, that is when you then stop out of that trade. But too many people put their stop losses in the wrong place. Your stop loss is either chosen arbitrarily out of thin air, like, oh, I'm going to stop out at 4%. 4% could be meaningless. What if 5% away is a key support level? Then you're going to get stopped out at your 4% drop. And then at 5%, your support's going to hold. Maybe, I might be a buyer down there and the stock ends up moving higher. And then you say, I always get stopped out too soon. It's because your stop loss is most likely in the wrong place. So you have to identify where that support level is and then put your stop loss beneath the support level, not at it, not in it. Understand that support levels are not one price. If you have a support around $9, the support level is not 9.00, meaning if the stock gets to 8.99 or 8.98, you got to get out of the trade. A stock can go down to $8.93 and then back to $9.05 and say the $9 support level still held. Support levels are that. They are levels. They are zones. They're not one price. So you've got to say, if there's support at a particular price, you've got to put your stop loss beneath that price. Now you're going to say, how far beneath do I need to put my stop loss? Well, that's going to depend on how volatile the stock is. If this is, you might be able to find one particular stock where you set your stop loss maybe just 10 cents underneath your support level. There may be other situations where you set your stop loss $1.50 underneath that support level. It all depends on how volatile that individual stock is, but you've got to be able to identify where's the support and then put your stop loss underneath it. Hey, Mike, I have Yahoo Finance. Why would I need to have the Benzinga newsfeed? Money trades, Yahoo Finance is delayed, big time delayed. Okay. You are not going to get news on Yahoo Finance for probably at least 10 to 15 minutes after it already comes out. The Benzinga newsfeed is going to give you that news within seconds of it actually crossing the wire. So this way you can react to news events a lot faster than if you're just relying on Yahoo Finance. By the time the news comes through on Yahoo Finance, the market or the individual stock, whatever the news is, has already made its move. And then you're going to be getting the news 15 minutes after other traders have already gotten it. And the other traders have either already bought or already sold the stock, depending on what the news is. And then you're just finding out about it. Okay, the Benzinga newsfeed is absolutely crucial, especially in the environment that we are currently find ourselves in, because the market is getting pushed and pulled in both directions with every single piece of news that comes across the wire. Every single statement that comes out of Jerome Powell's mouth the last 2 days. He was testifying on Capitol Hill. He was at the House of Representatives yesterday. He was at the Senate today. And there's very specific comments that he made yesterday versus comments he made today that caused the markets to go up yesterday, but also added to weakness today. And we're going to talk about that later on in the live stream. Then you have Russia, Ukraine. There are conflicting and flip-flopping reports between Russia and Ukraine about diplomacy and phone calls and meetings, and then ceasefires, and then no ceasefires, and then not a good meeting, and then a good meeting, and then we're going to meet for a third time, but then the second time didn't go. There's all of these news headlines continue to come out like this on a daily basis as everyone tries to digest and figure out, how is this going to play out? How is this going to come to a conclusion and resolution? Having access to our Benzinga newsfeed will give you those updates as soon as they cross the wire. So within seconds, you will be able to make a determination. Do I want to buy? Do I want to sell? Is this good or is this bad? Yahoo Finance, it's going to be way too late, brother. It's going to be way too late. And remember, the Benzinga newsfeed is free with your membership. You don't pay extra for it. But if you went to Benzinga on your own, you're going to have to pay Benzinga $1,400 a year to have access to that newsfeed. And we also have a Squawk Box feature. Now, I like the Squawk Box feature because you don't have to actually read the news headlines. If you're busy, you're focused on other things, you're in the middle of a trade, you can turn the Squawk Box on, and there's a person that reads the news headlines to you out loud as they come across the wire. So you can just turn your speakers up and listen while you're busy doing other things and you're busy trading. So that's free with your membership in True Trading Group. I'll show you later on in the live stream what that looks like. For those of you that are interested in the TC platform, I'll show you guys. But that's an invaluable tool, a priceless resource that the members and I in True Trading Group use on a daily basis. And it's never been more clear on how important that is than the environment that we find ourselves in today. Somebody goes, Yahoo Finance is amazing if you want to read yesterday's news. Hey, Mike, how do buy, sell, imbalances affect the market? Mary D, great question. I don't want you to look too far into buy and sell imbalances because they don't necessarily mean anything. Okay, what a buy and sell imbalance is basically open orders that have not been filled, that request to be filled before the end of the trading day, and your market makers will try to match that order flow. It does not mean, just because you have $1 billion sell imbalance, it does not necessarily mean that the market has to go down into the close. That is not what that means. You can have a $2 billion buy imbalance. The market does not necessarily have to go higher when that news comes out. So I don't want you it's not that simple. Okay. Trust me. if it was that simple, okay, where, oh, there's a buy imbalance, get long, and the market's just going to go up. It's not that simple. It's just open orders that need to be filled, but the market makers will then try to find and match sell orders to that. You can't have a buyer without a seller. So if there's orders of $2 billion that want to be filled, in order for them to be filled, you've got to have $2 billion of sellers to meet that order. So don't look too far into it. Do not think that, oh, buy imbalance, therefore let me buy call options into the close. It's not that simple. I'd rather you guys just not really try to focus on it too much. It could have an impact on the closing bell. If you have an imbalance that's like super, like if that imbalance is like a couple $1 billion, then yeah, maybe you see a little bit of a move like in the final 1 or 2 candles of the day. But again, it's something that is not a guarantee, and I don't really think it's a great trading strategy to try to base off of that. So I wouldn't drive yourself too crazy about the imbalances. With promises to increase corporate taxes, should we expect much lower returns in our long-term portfolios over the next few years? Well, lower returns in comparison to what? Because the last 3 years have been probably the biggest 3-year of gains that, and don't quote me on this because I'm not sure, but the last 3 years may be the biggest 3-year rally the market's ever had percentage-wise. And again, don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. But in 2019, the markets went up like 27%. And then 2020, like it was 18 or 19%. And then 2021, like another 26%, something like that. Those are not normal returns in the overall market. It's not normal for, let's just call it 20%, right? Let's just average it out and call it 20%. It's not normal for the S&P to go up 20% for 3 consecutive years. That's not normal. That is an extreme. That is an outlier. What is normal is 8, 9, 10, 11%. That's normal. 20% for 3 consecutive years, not really normal. Okay. So with or without increase in corporate taxes, with or without inflation, with or without a Russia-Ukraine war, I do not expect 20% rallies in the S&P for the next 3 years. Now, does that mean that markets can't still go higher and that stocks can't still go higher? Of course not. So of course, stocks can still go higher. Does that mean that there's not money to be made in the stock market? Of course, that doesn't mean that. There's going to be tremendous amounts of money to be made in the stock market. And actually, what you're seeing happen now, you've had so many of these technology stocks get absolutely crushed. And they're going to provide you with really good long-term wealth building opportunities, folks, because the tech stocks that everybody hates today they hate them for a very specific reason, which is because we're in a rising rate environment. People are not focusing on growth. They're focusing on cash flow and they're focusing on profitability. So all these companies that have these astronomical valuations but don't have the profits to back it up, they're getting crushed and their stocks are going down 40, 50, 60, 70%. But these are still fantastic companies that are growing at a tremendous rate. And that growth will continue as technology advances. And then at some point in the near future, the economy and financial markets will get used to and will get accustomed to a higher interest rate environment. We've had 0 interest rates for a very long time, but eventually a 2.5% Fed funds rate will become normal. All right. And, your 10-year and your 2-year and your 5-year, all your treasury yields going all the way back up to where they were prior to, an 08, 09 crash situation, or back to before a COVID situation. The markets will get used to that and it will normalize. And then you'll get back to GDP growth and the US economy continuing to surge forward and these technology stocks continuing to grow and generate more revenue. And these companies will eventually then become profitable and they're going to get more market share and they're going to become leaders in their industry. And that industry is going to expand into other areas and other sectors. And these stocks will go back up, just because, Snowflake has gotten crushed and Roblox has gotten crushed does not mean that these are failing businesses. They are not failing businesses. They're actually, the businesses themselves are actually doing very well, but it's the market environment that we are in is not, that you are not being rewarded anymore for growth. You're being rewarded for profitability. And that's what happens in a rising interest rate environment. The biggest example, or the easiest explanation that I can give to you why companies that are not yet profitable but have very high growth rates struggle in a rising interest rate environment is because when interest rates are at zero, right? When interest rates are at zero, if I said to you, I'll give you $100 today, or I'll give you $100 a month, a year from now, there is no difference whether you take the $100 today or you take the $100 a year from now, because interest rates are zero. So it's not like you can take that $100 and buy a bond with it and earn 3% on your money. Like, you're going to put it in, you're going to earn like 0.8%. Interest rates are close to zero. So you'd rather get $100 a year from now if you're going to get to buy something that has grown and has gotten bigger and has gotten more market share, okay, and has increased its size and is increasing its customer base and user base and its client base, right? You'd pay for growth because the money doesn't do you any good really now. So you'd rather have growth. Now, when interest rates go up, that mindset from investors changes. If I give you $100 today and interest rates are at 3%, well, you can take that $100 and you can invest it in a bond and get 3%. And then a year from now, you'll have $103. So the $100 today is more valuable than if I give you $100 a year from now, because now your $100 today becomes $103. So you're getting more money if you take the money today. And that's why investors want companies in this environment. They want companies that generate profit. They want companies that generate, as Mr. Wonderful says, cash flow, as Mr. Wonderful says, okay? So that is why you have companies now that are not profitable, that are not cash flow positive, but have high growth rates. Their stocks are going down 30, 40, 50%, some even worse. While you have companies that are generating strong cash flow. Like, you take a look at all your oil companies. Your oil companies are busting at the seams with cash. They are making so much money with oil over $100 a barrel that they don't even know what to do with it. Those stocks are all rocketing higher, up 20%. You have companies like Altria, another very strong cash flow positive company. You take a look at this stock, bang, rocketing higher. You take a look at a stock like AbbVie, ABBV, healthcare stock, okay? Bang, look at this stock. All stocks are not going down. You just might be in the wrong ones. ABBV, one of my favorite healthcare stocks that I own, one of my top favorite dividend stocks that I own. Okay, you take a look at all your oil companies. Look at all your oil stocks. Okay, there's always a bull market somewhere. Look at the oil stocks. Also, all these stocks, all these companies, we own these companies in True Trading Group. We own these stocks in True Trading Group. I published a report on January 2nd where I gave my stock market outlook for 2022. Now, I did not foresee a Russia invasion into Ukraine. That's obviously affected the overall markets because, to be fair, I also like the financials. So my top three sectors that I liked coming into this year, energy was my number one favorite sector. And I also liked financials and healthcare. Now, the Russia and Ukraine invasion has really hurt financials. Okay. The financials don't like war. The financials, the war actually dropped interest rates and dropped yields. Not good for financials, but I still think financials will do well, and because eventually the Russia-Ukraine situation hopefully settles down soon rather than later, and then interest rates rise. These companies will start to make more money just for keeping their lights on. So I do think that those stocks will recover later in the year. I did not foresee a Russia-Ukraine invasion. If I did, then I wouldn't have put financials in one of my top ideas for 2022. So that kind of threw a wrench in things there. But all your oil stocks, AbbVie, United Health, like, we're in all of these companies from that report. And this report is free for members that are part of True Trading Group. You guys can download it. I always put stuff out like that. It's just another bonus to be part of TTG. We don't charge extra for it. It's all included. It's an 18-page report. If you haven't downloaded it yet, I highly recommend you guys go do it. I published it on January 2nd. We are in all of these stocks. All right. So there still is plenty of places to make money, but people aren't in these stocks. People are in the AMCs of the world, right? People are in AMC. People are in, and you take a look at this stock, and then you say people are in Robin. You take a look at Robinhood, and say people are saying, "Oh my God, I'm getting crushed." People are in Ride. People in Lordstown Motors, Ride. Like people are in these stocks. They're in NIO. Right? We'll pull up and take a look at NIO stock. Right? Like these are the stocks that people are in because these are the shiny objects that were running higher over the last 2 years, and people don't realize why those stocks were moving higher, and now they certainly don't realize why they're moving lower. And this is what I'm explaining to you, why they're moving lower. Everybody felt like over the last 2 years, when these stocks were exploding and going to all-time highs and getting to valuations that nobody really even imagined, everybody had a very false sense of how the stock market worked and had a very false sense of why these stocks were going up. And now they have no idea why the stocks are going down. People felt like, oh, I don't need an education 2 years ago, 2020, 2021, like, oh, I don't need an education because stocks only go up. Well, those same people that thought that last year are the same people now that are hitting me up on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube and saying, Mike, I don't know what to do. My portfolio is down 50%. It's those same people that said, I don't need an education a year ago, the same ones that are asking for help now today. And if you had just gotten an education a year ago, when I was telling everybody that this is going to change coming into 2022, that you should be selling these stocks now, do not hold on to them, we wouldn't be in the situation that we find ourselves in today. Instead, you would have been out of NIO, you would have been out of AMC, you would have been out of Robinhood, you would have been out of Coinbase, and you would have been in Chevron and Devon Energy and AbbVie and United Health. Those would be the stocks that you'd be in, and your portfolio will be in a much different position than it is now today. Okay? Get yourselves educated, folks. Markets change. The reason why markets go up and the reason why markets go down, okay, is very important for you to understand. And that's what I try to teach you guys on a daily basis. I hope that it helps. Are stocks like Boeing or companies which are involved in military manufacturing a smart buy during Russia-Ukraine conflict? I think you're too late. I think you're too late, Sam. Boeing is a little bit different because Boeing is not just about military manufacturing. Boeing has obviously their airplane business and travel and some of these airline stocks, and as the price of oil continues to go up, that's not good for oil. For airline stocks, because their costs go up. It's very expensive for them to fuel these jet planes, and they don't really have the price elasticity as some other industries where somebody might decide, okay, well, I'm going to take a vacation. Would I rather get on a plane ride and spend $400 a ticket for me and a family of 4 or a family of 5 to go on a vacation down to Florida or to the Caribbean? Or would you rather spend $100 in gas and go drive out somewhere and go camping? All right. So I think that it's tougher for the airlines. That's why Boeing has not really performed on the back of any of this news about military conflict. Boeing also gets their military manufacturing from U.S. government contracts. The United States is not looking at the Russia-Ukraine invasion and saying, oh no, we need to build more naval ships. Oh no, we need to build more cargo planes. Oh no, we need to build more fighter jets. We need to build more tanks. This is not the beginning of World War II, where every single factory in the United States was turned into a military manufacturing plant. That's not what's happening. It's other companies, okay, like a Raytheon, like a Lockheed Martin, like a Northman. Why can't I pronounce this name? Why can't I pronounce the? Why can't I North Grum? I'm having a complete brain fart. Grumman, North. I'm having a brain fart on the other Northrop Grumman. Why can I'm having Grumman. Okay, so like all those other those are your defense companies that are actually doing very, very well. Like I'll just pull up Lockheed Martin for you guys for a second. You take a look at Lockheed Martin. Like look at the move that Lockheed Martin just made over the last week. Right? You take a look at the move that Lockheed Martin just made, and thank you guys, Northrop Grumman. I don't know why I couldn't say that word, Northrop Grumman. Okay. Anyway, ticker symbol is NOC. I just couldn't think of the actual name, the name of the company. But you take a look at this stock. You see the moves that these stocks have made, and these are your defense manufacturing companies. These are companies that make a lot of that equipment. And this is really, these stocks are moving because you probably get an increase in defense spending, but not so much in the United States as Europe. Europe is really where that defense spending is really going to increase. But these stocks have made a really big move. And if you think these stocks go higher, then you essentially are betting that the tensions between Russia and Europe really accelerate. Like that it goes past Russia, Ukraine. And you think the Russia-Ukraine situation is not anywhere near finished, that there's not going to be a resolution to this anytime soon. It'll stay a military conflict, and then that military conflict could spill over into NATO territory. So I think, like, if you really think that NOC is at 450, you think it's going to 500, 520, I think the only way that happens is if there's the conflict spills over into Poland, Romania, Lithuania, right? Like other NATO countries that then NATO would have to defend. Like by law, as part of NATO, if one NATO country gets pulled into a military conflict, all of NATO has to support that NATO country in the conflict. So when you go to war with one NATO country, you go to war with all of NATO. So if something like that were to happen, then yeah, then these stocks have way more room to go. I don't, for one, think that that's going to happen. You know, I don't think that Putin wants to go to war with all of NATO. But listen, I didn't think he was actually going to invade Ukraine. Full disclosure, I didn't. I was wrong. But I just feel like buying Lockheed Martin or Northrop Grumman at these prices, I feel like you kind of missed your chance to buy these. I just think that I can't buy them at these prices and not feel like I'm chasing them. So that's my thoughts with that, Sam. And I hope that helps answer your question. But I'm actually, it's funny you asked, because I'm actually looking to short Lockheed Martin as soon as I get some kind of news about like a ceasefire or something like that. I think these stocks come back down to earth. How high could we see oil go per barrel, and will we see commodities rise with it as well? How does oil affect the market long term if staying high? You can definitely see oil go much higher. The all-time highs for oil was just right back before the crash of 08-09. We got to like 160, 165 a barrel. I never thought I would see that price point ever again. I still don't think we see that price point ever again. I don't think oil goes all the way up to 160, but I do think it's possible that it goes, towards 120. It sounds like we are very, very, very close to an Iran nuclear deal, which would bring 1.3 million barrels a day back into the supply, which honestly, it sucks that you got to do an Iran nuclear deal to get 1.3 million barrels of supply into the world. I don't think anybody really wants that give and take. You don't want to actually, let nuclear activity go on with Iran in order to get some of their oil, which whatever. But that's, nor here nor there, different conversation. We'll stay away from that. But you probably see a drop in oil prices if that actually happens. Oil pulled back today for that reason. Oil was up at 116 earlier today. We pulled all the way back to like 109. And that was because there were rumors that we are very, very, very close. We are very, very close to a deal with Iran, and that will bring 1.3 million barrels. that's not enough to solve the supply issue. So I still think that you're going to have such insane demand once Americans start driving in the summer. It's the busiest drive time of the year. And we are the American driver, as Tim Seymour mentioned to you all on the live stream last night. The American driver is the largest consumer of oil in the world. I did not know that. He had mentioned that on a live stream last night. So that supply-demand imbalance is going to remain an issue for the foreseeable future. I expect oil prices to remain elevated for a while. I don't think oil is going to come crashing back down to $50, $60 a barrel. I think oil is going to trade at least in the 90s and stay there for a while. And I think we still could move higher. The longer the Russia-Ukraine conflict lasts, the more likely you have real supply disruption with oil and sanctions possibly being elevated or escalated to where there's sanctions against Russian oil. Which would be a major problem for Europe, more so than it is the United States. Europe relies much more heavily on Russia for their oil and natural gas than the United States does. But that's going to just push oil prices even higher. Now, oil prices being elevated for an extended period of time is typically not good for economic growth because it lessens the spending power of the American consumer and of the global consumer, right? Like, hey, if you used to spend $200 a month on gas, now you're spending $375 a month on gas. That's $175 of something else you're not buying. And that could hurt. That hurts economic growth. When consumers, which the United States is a consumer economy, 70% of our GDP is thanks to us, the American consumer, because we buy stuff. If we're able to buy less stuff because our money is only going to get us less stuff, then that hurts GDP growth. So the longer that oil stays higher, the worse it is for the overall economy. And the higher oil goes, the worse it will be for the overall economy because of that. So you don't want oil prices to remain elevated for this hot for a long period of time. But unfortunately, I believe oil prices will remain high for a while, which is why I labeled energy as my number one sector pick for 2022. And I stick with that call. Hey, Mike, is the market pricing in 25 bip hike still? Seems like Jerome Powell's response today kept the possibility of a larger hike this month. Any thoughts? Thank you. Angel, we're getting 25 this month. We're getting 25 this month. Jerome Powell's comments earlier today, and we'll talk about this later on the live stream. Jerome Powell's comments today let everyone know that later this year, you might get 50 basis points if inflation doesn't cool down. And we'll talk about that later on in the live stream. I'll get into more detail about it. But basically, Jerome Powell's comments today, and I'm summarizing here, was we're raising 25 points at the March meeting. But as the year goes on, if inflation does not react the way we think it will react based on our rate hikes and our anticipation, we will be more aggressive if we need to. So that tells me that we're getting 25 in March, but there's the possibility that maybe in a summer meeting, we might get 50 basis points if inflation has not cooled off by then. That's what I got from that meeting today, but we're going to talk more about that later on in the live. You guys are asking some fantastic questions today. I'll take maybe one or two more. No, Carlos. Considering all the global conditions, do you think this is the new normal? No, I don't. I also don't know what you mean by what is the new normal? Like war in Europe, is that the new normal? $111 oil, is that the new normal? Inflation at 7%, is that the new normal? The answer to all three of those questions is no. The Russia-Ukraine situation is not going to last forever. I don't think it spills over into the rest of Europe, and I don't think it turns into World War III. Inflation's not going to stay at 7%. You have to realize what inflation actually is. Inflation is an increase. It doesn't stay stagnant. So like if inflation doesn't change, then it would actually be zero. So inflation is not going to stay at 7%. That means if your next inflation reading is 7%, that means it went up 7% from the last reading, which also was up 7%, and so on and so on and so on and so on. So inflation would always be a rising number. It's always an increase. It's not just like a stagnant number. It's always an increase. So you're not going to stay at 7% eventually. And the Fed's going to raise rates enough to where inflation will come down. The worry is that they raise rates too aggressively and actually puts the economy into a recession is the fear that that people that are bearish on the market, that's the fear that they have. So no, this is not the new normal. It's not. It's not the new normal. No, it'll take time for these situations to resolve themselves, but it is not the new normal. How do you get over the fear of leaving money on the table or where you take profits would be in uncharted territory? I mean, I don't get over the fear because it's just the fear doesn't exist. I mean, you can't really be scared of taking profit. Like, you know, leaving money on the table is something that you're always going to do. You know, the problem here is that you have to remember what your job is as a trader. Your job as a trader is not to buy the low and sell the high. Your job is not to catch a stock's entire move. You're never going to. You know, like here, I'll just take a look at Northrop Grumman as an example, the stock that just happens to be on my screen. You are never, ever going to buy a stock right there and then sell it right there. Like you're never going to do that, you know, and that's assuming that this is it, that's the top and the stock just comes down from there. That's assuming that we don't go higher. You're never going to do that. Like nobody in the world is able to do that. Nobody can do that. But too many people try, and those are the people that really struggle because then you're never satisfied. There's never a feeling of accomplishment because you're going to be down on yourself when you lose money, obviously, right? You're not like, oh yeah, I lost money. You're going to be down on yourself. But then you're going to make money and then you're going to be down on yourself again. How are you supposed to build confidence if you're always pissed off at yourself? You always feel like you did a bad job. Your job is not to catch a stock's entire move. Your job is to identify setups and opportunities that you can implement your strategy successfully and make money. Your job's to make money. How you do that does not matter. What stock you do it in, whether it's a swing trade, a day trade, a stock, an option, if it's a slow mover, a fast mover, a small cap, a large cap, it doesn't matter. You don't have to catch a stock's entire move in order to make money. If you found the setup, you implemented your strategy, and you made money and the stock reached your profit targets, good job. I don't care if the stock keeps going. You've got to sell at some point. You know, don't be the people that bought GameStop, you know, at $15, watched it go to 400 and never sold it. You know, like you have to get off the train at some point. At some point, okay, you're going to get on a train or you're going to get on a bus. All right. And it's going to take you to where you want to go. But at some point you have to get off, because if you don't get off, guess what? If you fall asleep and you stay on the train, you're going to wind up right back to where you started. That's how you have to think about this. You get on a bus, it's because the bus is going to take you somewhere that you want to go. But when it actually gets there, you have to get off. If you don't get off, you will wind up right back to where you started. Get off the boat. Get off the bus. Get off the train. Don't be upset with yourself because you left money on the table. All right, folks. Let's see. One more. Are we chasing oil if we try to buy now? Sorry if you answered, I missed it. Nope, no worries. No need to apologize. Yeah. I do think you're chasing it a little bit. You had your first pullback today. If there is an Iran deal, I think you get a pullback of maybe $5, $6, $7. But then I think it's probably a buy at that point. Also, if there's a diplomatic resolution between Russia and Ukraine, like over the weekend, I'm not saying there will be, I'm saying if, that also would cause the price of oil to come down. But any catalyst like that causes oil to come down, I think that's a buy because there's still a fundamental issue of supply and demand with oil, especially as we get into the warmer months and people start traveling. With or without Russia, Ukraine, with or without an Iran nuclear deal, I see that as a problem going forward. And that's why I believe that oil prices are going to remain elevated. So if you get a significant pullback because of a Russia-Ukraine situation ending or an Iran nuclear deal, I do think that pullback could give you a better entry point than $115, $111, $109, like where we are now. You can maybe get a pullback back into the 90s or so, but then I think it's a buy at that point. Okay. Okay, guys, great job on the Q&As. I'll kind of wrap things up there. You guys literally did a fantastic job asking questions. Give yourselves a round of applause on that one. Some great questions. Well thought out, very detailed, very relevant, very educational. You guys did a great job asking some questions there. It's my pleasure to always help answer them for you. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a quick 15-minute intermission to explain to you how you can join the TTG platform. I'm going to tell you about the TTG membership. This is a quick sales intermission. I'm telling you guys now, for the next 15 minutes or so, I'll tell you about the membership. But don't go anywhere because when I'm finished with that, I will go over some of the main topics of the live stream tonight. And that's what were the headlines that made the markets go up yesterday? And then what were the headlines today that erased that? And then what was going on today with Russia, Ukraine? Because we kept getting headline that was making the market go like this, or rather I should say go like this. Okay, so we're going to talk all about that. That choppiness caused me to not make a single day trade today, which is not normal for me. I can count on one hand how many times a year that probably happens to me. But we're going to go over today, like how to avoid over trading. That's something a lot of traders really struggle with. A lot of traders over trade themselves into turning a green day into a red day, or they over trade themselves and they turn what was a non-event day, they turn into a complete disaster. I'm going to teach you guys, and we're going to talk about that a little bit on how we can avoid that later on in the live when I'm done with this quick little sales intermission. Okay. So stay right where you are. In just about 15 minutes, when we're done with the sales intermission, we'll talk all about that. But for now, let's go ahead and share with you guys how you can join the TTG membership. All right, folks, what I'd like to do real quick here right now is I would like to see how many people. All right, never mind. All right, guys, we're going to skip this. All right, guys, we are going to skip this part of the live stream. All right, never mind. Forget the sales intermission. We're going to skip this part. All right, so we're just going to go right into the main topics of our live stream. All right, guys, I'm going to take a quick little sip of water, and then we're going to dive in. No pitch. Not yet, Marie. I'm going to dive in, and we're going to go over the main topics of our live stream first. Okay. So let's talk about what caused the markets to rally yesterday. Okay. What caused the markets to rally yesterday? Yesterday, you had Jerome Powell testifying in front of Congress. Jerome Powell said yesterday that he was prepared and ready to support a 25 basis point hike at the March meeting. That caused the markets to rally. And I will break this up. I'll show you guys. Okay, so here's yesterday. All right. This is yesterday's trading action. Okay. This is yesterday. This right here is when Jerome Powell said, I support a 25 basis point hike. All right. From that moment, the markets rallied. The reason why the markets rallied on the back of that was because there's been a lot of question marks and a lot of concerns about what the Fed was going to do at the March 16th Fed meeting. And a lot of people didn't know what to expect, or they didn't know what's the Fed's path. Since the Fed last spoke, inflation continued to rise and the inflation numbers got higher and higher. So people started thinking that there's the possibility of a 50 basis point hike in March. Well, Jerome Powell yesterday, in very, out of character, not normal, I've never seen it done before. 2 weeks before a Fed meeting, he came flat out and said, yeah, we're raising 25 basis points. I've never seen that happen in my entire career. People that I know that have been doing this for longer than I have, which I'm on 17 years or so, people that have been doing it longer than that have never seen this happen before. For a Fed president to actually say that in a testimony in front of Congress. So that got the markets really excited. As you can see, the markets really, really moved higher the entire rest of the day on the back of that news. And that news was really celebrated because now the markets have clarity on what's the Fed's path. Based on what Jerome Powell said yesterday, it was basically, hey, we're going to raise 25 basis points, and then we're going to wait and see what happens. We're going to be more, we're going to check out the data. We're going to see what happens, and we'll use our tools if we need to, but we're going 25 at the March meeting, and then we'll see what happens. Now, that gave the market clarity on the path the Fed is on. Okay, now they know the Fed's not going to be as hawkish and as aggressive with rate hikes as people initially thought. That's why the markets went up yesterday. Also, what happened yesterday, there was a news headline regarding Russia-Ukraine that they were getting ready to have a second round of possible ceasefire talks where Russian delegation, Ukrainian delegation were going to meet at the Belarus border for a second time. And the markets like that. The markets like the fact that they're going to meet a second time. That means that the first meeting was not a complete, debacle where both sides are willing to meet again. That gave the markets hopes that maybe there is still a chance of diplomacy. And now we know the Fed's path, and the markets rallied yesterday. Big 700-point rally on the Dow yesterday on the back of that news. But then what happened today? Today, I'll take you to today's chart. Now this is what happened today. What the hell happened today? How did we go from a 700-point rally to this? And then how did you have this in between in the middle? How did the markets go from a 700-point rally yesterday to absolutely falling out of bed in the morning to then rallying back midday to then falling back out of bed in the afternoon? This is why this was such a back and forth type of day today, because there were multiple headlines today. One headline came out right here. Another headline came out right here. And another headline came out right here. These are your three main headlines of the day. And as you can see, headlines cause the markets to go in opposite directions when those news headlines came out. So let's talk about them. First news headline right here. The president of France, Macron, had a phone call with Vladimir Putin. That phone call did not go well at all. The French president said there was not one single shred of positivity from that phone call. that Vladimir Putin said the worst is yet to come in Ukraine, and said, I want the entire country. I want to take Kiev, and I want to instill my own government. I'm summarizing. That was the news headlines that came out from the France-Russia phone call. Now, that's very different than yesterday. The markets were excited that Russia, Ukraine were going to meet for a second round of talks. They said, oh, well, that's good. Maybe there's going to be a diplomatic resolution. Markets rallied yesterday. Then you get that news today about the France-Russia phone call. Obviously, that starts to now negates a lot of the excitement from yesterday. Then, on top of all of that, at that time, Jerome Powell starts talking. Now he's testifying today in front of the Senate. Yesterday was the House. Don't forget, yesterday, what did he say? Yesterday, he said, we're going to raise 25 basis points. Everybody felt like he was dovish. He's not going to be aggressive. And one specific senator asked him very straightforward today. If you guys don't know who Paul Volcker is a former Fed chair from the 80s that when the last time that we were faced with inflation that was this high, Paul Volcker raised rates so aggressively into a slowing economy to stop inflation that he purposely put the economy into a recession in order to stop inflation. And Jerome Powell today was asked, would you be willing to go to the same lengths as Mr. Volcker did to stop inflation? And Jerome Powell very sternly and very definitively said yes. Now, that's a very different tone than he had in front of the House yesterday. He told everybody, we're going 25 basis points, and then we're going to wait and see what happens. And everyone was like, wow, yay, that's great. But then today, you kind of got the second half of the question. Whoever asked that question yesterday, I don't remember who it was, did not do a good enough job in clarifying, okay, or other members of Congress did not do a good enough job of asking him more directly to be more specific about what he said. Because he said, yeah, we're going to raise 25 basis points and then we're going to see what happens. Well, what does that mean? Let's see what happens. Well, a senator today asked, what does that mean? Let's see what happens. And said, are you willing to, if your rate hikes do not slow inflation to the rate that you think, are you willing to go that far and send the economy into a recession in order to get inflation under control? Are you willing to do that? And he said, yes, I am. He said, I'm willing to go to whatever extent is needed to bring inflation down. And he said, I'm not worried about inflation because what we are going to do, what we are prepared to do, will bring inflation down. So you got the second half of that answer. And it was, we're still going 25. And we think the path we're on will be enough to bring inflation down. But if it's not, and he was very specific when he said this, he said, I'm confident in the path that we're going to take. But he was also confident inflation was transitory. And we know now that wasn't true. So now when he says something like this, it doesn't really have much credence. When he says, yeah, I'm confident the path we're on is going to bring inflation down, but if it's not, and he said very specifically, if inflation does not react to our actions the way that we anticipate it will, then we are prepared to be more aggressive, which means I'm prepared to be more like Paul Volcker. I can't say that guy's name. Okay. And the markets did not like that. So then what happened? The markets continued to sell off. Those two things this morning caused the markets to do this. That's why we sold off like that in the morning. That's why those things erased the bullishness that was yesterday. How can you have such complete opposite price action, right? Look at it. This was yesterday, and then this was this morning. Completely opposite. And that's why everything that the market celebrated yesterday were erased within the first hour of the day because of the two news headlines that came out in the morning. So I came into the day today. You had great jobless claims. Jobless claims were under expectation. Economy back to full employment. Everything was gapping up this morning, and I mean everything. The only sector that was red was energy, and that was because of the potential of an Iran nuclear deal. So I came into the day actually bullish, and I was thinking about call options today. Then the news broke about the French president phone call with Putin, and I was like, well, damn, that's not good that he said that. The market's not going to like that. And then Jerome Powell starts speaking, and then he says that, and I'm like, wait a second. Okay, we literally just erased all the reasons why the markets rallied yesterday. So I said, okay, I've got to take a step back. The markets did not do what I thought they were going to do today, which takes me into my lesson of preventing you from over trading. I always have very clear and specific game plans when I approach a trading day. And I suggest all of you do the same. Every single day pre-market, I come on the microphone. The other moderators in True Trading Group come on the microphone. It's not just me. There's 8 other professional traders that are moderators inside of True Trading Group. They're all on the microphone. We all share our screen with you during the day. And we give you our game plan. I'm always very specific what I think the overall market's going to do, what individual stocks I think are going to go up, which ones I think are going to go down. And I give you that game plan early. When you find yourself in a situation where the game plan that you had does not come to fruition, do not just flip the script and continue to push on throughout the day. Hit the reset button. Take a step back and say, okay, that's not what I thought was going to happen. Why was I wrong? Not enough people take the time to figure that out. When I came into the day today, I was originally thinking bullish, but then the markets very, very quickly start to sell. And I'm saying, why is this happening? What's going on? And then that's when I said to myself, okay, the French phone call, then the comment Powell made, and I said, wow, okay, the reasons why we were strong yesterday had just been taken away from the market. And the market's now just giving back the entire move yesterday because of that. Makes sense. It makes sense. If the reasons why the markets went up yesterday were taken away, then the market should go back to where it was yesterday. And it's exactly what we did in the morning. That's exactly what happened. So now I said to myself, okay, I gotta readjust. I'm no longer bullish, and I've got to start thinking about possibly now going back to the short side and look either for put options on the SPY or look to short individual stocks, because now I'm no longer bullish because of those reasons. As soon as I think about this and I start looking around and I take my time, I don't just jump right into something. I take my time and I formulate a new game plan. Because if the first game plan's wrong, you got to get rid of it. You got to take the time, do some analysis, form a new game plan. So that's exactly what I did. And I started to find individual stocks that looked weak, that I thought were good short setups. Just as I come to peace with my new game plan and I'm ready to attack, a news headline comes out. Right there. News headline comes out. Oops, right here. Okay. Now, what is this news headline? Well, this news headline is the second round of talks, okay, were underway, where the Russia and Ukrainian delegation had met. And you can also see a huge surge in volume when this happened. And they said that the Ukrainian representative said that Ukraine has not yet gotten what they wanted, but a ceasefire could be on the table to allow for civilians to evacuate. That was the news headline that came out there at 12:30. And the markets popped. Huge volume, right back over VWAP, like a quick $4 move. And now I said to myself, wait a second. Now there's a new headline that negates the negative headline that came out just 2 hours ago. So I'm saying, okay, well, wait a second. Now what do I do? Now I still have the Jerome Powell negative headline in play, but now there's the headline here that was kind of erased from earlier in the morning because now there's a positive headline from Russia. The markets went higher. And then I'm saying to myself, you know what? It feels to me, and I started looking around at a lot of different names, everything was consolidating, everything was trading sideways. And I said to myself, at this point, I'm like, wow, I think the market really is taking a breather. And the market's really saying, wait a second, what the hell's going on? There's too many news headlines that are coming out. All the while, what are we using? Our Benzinga newsfeed in chat. My Benzinga newsfeed is giving me these news headlines like this. As soon as these moves, as soon as these updates come across the wire, bang, I'm getting them. I know exactly why the market's moving the way that it is. It is an invaluable tool in a moment of headline risk and volatility like we find ourselves in today. You cannot trade without it. It's free with your membership. All right. Then another news headline comes out, and then this happens. And this was the second the round of discussions. Those second ceasefire talks had completed. They were finished. There was no ceasefire. And in fact, Russia troops had actually advanced from their positions. So now that erases that news headline. And the markets went right back down. Okay. So while all this is happening, guys, the code word for tonight is inflation. This is the final code word before tomorrow's giveaway. If you're not a member of True Trading Group, don't worry about this code word. This is for members only. We do a lot of fun giveaways. We give away cash. We give away electronics for all of our members. This is part of one of those giveaways. Guys, the last and final code word for tomorrow's giveaway is inflation. Okay, if you are a member, the final code word for the giveaway for tomorrow is inflation. Okay, this is the final and 11th code word. The final and 11th code word is inflation. All right, so that news headline then caused the markets to go right back down to where they were. And notice, where did the markets go to? Exactly where we were. Like, we just literally were like, oh, positive news headline erased, right back to where we came from when the negative news headline came out. So long story short, I decided to completely avoid what I felt today was a gigantic minefield of news headlines and back and forth, up and down and up and down. And I just decided to just avoid it. Then you had a news headline come out right before the close that they are going to possibly be meeting for a third round of talks. And then the market just moves higher. So I'm just like, okay, good luck, people that are trying to really take a stance on what's going to happen with Russia, Ukraine, and to really take a stance on what's going to go on with the overall markets and really say, hey, I'm sinking my teeth in puts. I'm sinking my teeth in calls, because the market is moving right now. Okay. The markets are moving right now based on all of these news headlines. Okay. So I didn't make a single day trade today. All right. I did not make a single day trade today. And these are the reasons why. But now let me explain to you guys why I did not overtrade. Right? I didn't overtrade today. And I could have. Today could have been a very bad day for me. Think about what could have happened to me today. if I didn't have patience and discipline. I was bullish coming into the day. I could have came into the day. I could have got call options right here. And then the news came out with the French president and the market would have sold off. I would have gotten stopped out. I would have took a loss right when the day first started. Then I said to myself, okay, it's time for me to get puts. I jump in puts right here. And then all of a sudden the news comes out about the possible ceasefire to allow civilians to evacuate. And then I get stopped out right here on my put options. Then I come in here and I say, okay, well, then now I'm going to go and I'm going to buy call options. And then the news comes out about no ceasefire and the meeting is over and Russia troops actually advanced. And then I get stopped out right here. You realize how bad today could have been for me? Neither one of these trades would have been my fault. It would have been, I get into a position, piece of news comes out against my trade. I get into a position, a piece of news comes out against my trade. Because the news just kept going back and forth, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish. And I could have gotten spun around very easily. But I would much rather not make money than lose money any day of the week. When you realize that your game plan is not coming to fruition, and this is why it's very important for you to have game plans before you start your day. We give you this inside of True Trading Group every single day. When your game plan does not come to fruition, take a step back, hit the reset button, go through your entire pre-market analysis again, because everything has changed. Figure out what is the catalyst that made the markets do something different than what you thought. Is that something that could have a lasting effect, or is it a short-term effect? Are stocks now weak that you thought were strong? Is it time to go short instead of going long? Formulate an entirely new game plan like you would formulate a game plan pre-market. You don't formulate a game plan within 2 minutes in the pre-market session. So why formulate a game plan within 2 minutes when the market's open? But that's what a lot of people do because they fall victim to FOMO. They feel like I'm going to miss the opportunity. You're not going to miss the opportunity. You're going to cause yourself to get sucked into a poor quality setup that you did not take the time to analyze, and you're going to get chopped up. And I decided once that second news headline came out that contradicted the first one, which contradicted the one from yesterday, I made a decision and I said, you know what? This is way too choppy for me right now. I'm hands off. And I'm glad I did it because I very easily could have lost a lot of money today if I allowed myself to just go 0 for 3 like that on all those different news headlines. Having the discipline to not only have a game plan in the first place, but recognize when your game plan is not coming into fruition and then taking the time needed to form a new game plan is how you can prevent yourself from over trading on a choppy day. That's the main lesson I want you to take from this live stream and from my non-trading today. No day trades for me today. And I think that's the lesson that you guys can really take from this day, was that my game plan didn't come to fruition. There was a lot of contradicting news headlines, and I decided not to make a trade. Live to fight another day. Okay? And that's it. All right? And that wraps up the main topics of our live. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody have questions about anything that I just said? I'm Plum God. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Plum God says, I lost 25% of my portfolio by doing exactly what Mike just said not to do. Lesson freaking learned. Yeah, Plum God, I'm sorry to hear that. But listen, don't let it be for nothing. Learn from this. Learn from this. Hyper Gaming says, does it really matter? Hyper Gaming says, answer mine, please. I think I saw your question before. Trading stocks based on news, is it really safe? Usually I don't rely too much on news. Boy, if you don't rely on news, you're in trouble. News is a lot more important than technicals. So, in order to be a trader, you have to use both. Hyper Gaming, you have to use technical. I'm a technical trader. Don't get me wrong. I trade on technicals, like technical analysis, the overall markets, and like chart patterns and indicators. I trade off of technicals, but you have to know what the news is. You always need to know what's causing the markets to move, because markets will move more based on fundamentals and catalysts than they will technicals. So if you have a technical setup, like I'll just give you an example, right? Like this, okay, this was a bearish setup. This is a bear flag, textbook bear flag, VWAP resistance right here, suck in SPY puts all day long. And then a news headline comes out that will stop you out of your position, because your stop loss would be probably somewhere here over VWAP, and the news comes out that makes the market jump 4 points. That's going to stop you out of your position. So news headlines will trump technicals always. So it's like you have to, being a good trader is being able to understand the fundamentals, which is your news and your global macro and your geopolitical events and how that affects the market. Understanding that part, okay? Understanding, okay, what are the news catalysts that are moving the market? And then what are the technicals? Then the technicals over here are you want to find situations where the technicals line up with the fundamentals. The news and the fundamentals and the catalyst may be something that is bearish. Okay, so if the fundamentals are bearish, then use your technicals to find bearish setups. Don't contradict that. Your best quality setups will be setups where the fundamentals and the technicals line up, where the news is negative and the technicals are negative. Don't find negative news, but then find bullish technicals and try to fight that. Find setups and be patient enough and have discipline to wait for setups that both of those two align. Adam, what's up, brother?
What's up, man?
What's going on?
Nothing much. Joe, test it now. See if it works. Sammer just sent you a message. All right. I know I abruptly interrupted your sales tonight.
Yeah, what's going on? What happened there?
We are putting a temporary hold on new members for tonight.
Oofa. Sorry, guys.
I just came from a really awesome town hall meeting with like well over 200 of our members, and we spoke about some things, and I am going to it'll be back tomorrow, but there's some things that we need to change tonight, some changes that are coming to the annual membership.
Okay. Fair enough.
So what I would suggest is this. Let's see. Rather than signing up for a membership, okay, what I would suggest you guys do is sign up for our trial tonight, okay? And what I'm going to do now, instead of walking you through our platform, I'm going to walk you, Joe, I got it. I'm going to walk you through our trial, okay?
Okay.
First, let me see, real quick, Mike, where do you think we're heading tomorrow? Everyone's asking, where are we heading tomorrow? What do you think of the SPY tomorrow? Give some indication on that.
I mean, listen, it's if there's no news whatsoever, there's no headlines, I would say I think we maybe trade lower based on the technicals, but you got to keep your head on a swivel, folks. These news headlines, you saw today how quickly a news headline can move the markets up or down. So even though I'm saying right now that I would, maybe believe that we trade lower tomorrow. You also have some economic data coming out tomorrow that can change that. If you have a jobs number that comes out tomorrow that is so bullish, the markets can maybe move higher. But then if there's a news headline with Russia, Ukraine, you've got to be nimble in this market, because I can tell you right now in this live stream at 5:50 p.m. Eastern time that the markets trade lower tomorrow. And in 45 minutes, a news headline could come out of Russia, Ukraine that makes me feel the market's going to go up tomorrow. You really, really, really have to keep your head on a swivel. And that's not like a sucker way of answering that question, because I don't want to answer a up or down. I put my neck out there every single night. I tell you exactly what I think the markets are going to do. I'm just proving the point of how much of a headline risk environment that we are in. And it goes back to why having the Benzinga newsfeed is so damn important, because you need to know when these news headlines comes out, because they're moving the market. And fortunately for you guys, Adam's going to tell you guys about the trial and what's included with that trial. He can walk you guys through it, but having access to that stuff is crucial. And I will talk to you on the microphone every single step of the way throughout the day. When these news headlines comes out, I always, as soon as I get news, I update our members. Right? Members, right? I always as soon as I hear news, I come on the mic and I tell you guys, I make sure everybody's aware of what's happening, why the market's moving. I want people to know why something is happening, not just what. The why is important. And we get that thanks to our Benzinga newsfeed. So I would say trade lower based on just the technicals, but I have a feeling that there's going to be some news between now and the market open that could change that. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. You got to get yourselves in chat with me, join the trial, and just be in chat with me for an entire week. You'll be good from Friday all the way through till next Friday. Come trade with me in chat, and let's not try to make these guesses. Let's actually make educated decisions based on the tools and resources and information that's at our disposal.
Okay. All right. First thing I want to do here, though, real quick, let's go ahead. I just want to see how many new people we have on here that are not trial members, that maybe it's the first time on this live stream. Go ahead and type the number 1 in chat for me if you could. I want to see what it is that we're working with here. Stock market mindset. Patrick Kadraba, Benz 951, Acham, Praveen Kumar Soma. Oh, there's a delay on it from the other side. Got it. M. Anthony J. Mike, can you pronounce that name? No,
it's just CLD Zinc.
Okay. Kumar Satya. All right. Let's see. Anyone else? It really helps us to know what we're working with here, guys, if you could. Fernando Calero. According to the poll, there's like 50 of you in here right now, and that's fine. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Normally on here, we sell memberships. That's what we do, right? This is the greatest infomercial you will ever see. QVC actually learned everything they learned from us. It's something that we are very proud of. They don't call him ShamWow Mike for nothing. And yeah, okay. So here's the thing. Right now, Mike and I are going to go off this stream. We're going to make some changes to the annual membership. We're going to have some conversation. Okay. What I will tell you is this: everyone that typed the number 1, including Nick P, okay, and everyone else, we have a $3 trial. All right. Hang on. We have a $3 trial. This is a $3 trial that does not auto renew. It does not auto renew. When the trial is up, you are not charged again. That's it. Okay. We charge $3 to make sure you're a real person, because as part of the trial, you can come in our chat room and come in there and you can communicate with other members. And if we let everyone do it for free, then anyone could come in and kind of troll and whatever. At least this time, if you're going to come in and you plan on, doing something inappropriate in the main chat, at least we know who you are. Okay. That is why we charge the $3. All right. Now, I am going to go ahead and share my screen. All right. You see it, Mike?
Yep, I see it.
So, guys, on my screen is the trial membership sign up. Okay. So let's go over this for a second. You get 7 days, 1 week, a full 7 days in our chat room. Okay. And on top of that, and weekends do not count. So, for example, if you sign up today, you join us in chat tomorrow. Your first day in chat starts tomorrow, and then you have all the way till next Friday. Okay, all the way till next Friday. So, let's go over this real quick. Literally a one-time, non-recurring payment for only $3. You get immediate 1 week access to our trading chat room, to the Benzinga Pro live streaming newsfeed and Squawk. That's $1,400 a year. You guys get it for 7 days for $3, including everything else. Okay? You get our Trade Ideas real-time scanner that's streamed inside of chat. And you get 3 sample courses. Okay? Now, talking about these sample courses real quick. These sample courses are not meant to be the most enlightening experience you've ever had from a sample course. What they are meant for is for you to get a general idea of how our courses and our curriculum are structured, because our real courses and our real curriculum is massive. It is in depth, it is massive, and it is big. The courses that we provide in the trial are courses for you to get a feel for how we are set up. All right? Now, we also give you access to our stock profile and analyst ratings. So for the entire week, you can have unlimited downloadable analyst ratings. You can save them all right to your desktop. It's cumulative analyst ratings from Quote Media for any stock in North America. Okay? You also get access to organized SEC filings. I mean, it really is the ultimate due diligence companion. You're getting all this for $3. If we didn't let you in chat, I would give it to you for free. But I want you guys to come and chat so that you can experience what it's like in there. Okay? And again, let me stress this. At the end of the 7 days, you don't need to cancel anything. The membership is for 7 days, and then it just expires. You are literally never charged again. You have to manually re-enter your credit card information in order to be charged again. It will not charge you again. So you go to this page, you put in your info, all this stuff, and then on the bottom, once you put in all your info, okay, also, we do not give a refund on the $3. Sorry, guys. I know that's kind of I know that's not a good feeling inside.
Well, the hell with this then.
But we do not give refunds on the $3. There it is. But you can also see down here our terms of service. It's pretty self-explanatory, right? You're given instant access to our trial and trading courses, trial trading courses, stock profile tool, 1 week chat room access, and can immediately benefit from this. We do not give refunds for the one-time $3 charge. As a TTG3 subscriber, you will not be automatically rebilled, and you are under no obligation to become a full TTG annual member. Doesn't get any more straightforward than that. The reason I'm stressing this to you is because I know that there's a ton of memberships out there where you sign up for $3 or $10 or whatever it is, and if you don't cancel it, you automatically get charged whatever the full price is later. That is not what this is. I want to stress that is not what this is. And I'm going to show you. So I put in all my info. I'm going to now click place my order. It's going to load. This screen is going to come up. It's going to say, please wait while we process your subscription. Do not touch anything. Let it process. It could take a minute to 2 minutes. It'll take less than that. Bam. I'm now going to be redirected to my membership dashboard, to my trial membership dashboard. All right, let's go over what it is that's here. Right away, you will notice that you are given your very own coupon code. Okay. Did you just put something on Twitter?
I responded.
Oh, okay. The membership is normally, because it popped up on my screen. The membership is normally $22.12. As a trial member, for the first every 2 days that you're a trial member, 2, 4, 6, and then 7 days. This is the last day. Every day you're a trial member, you get a discount. Every day you're a trial member, your price to join goes up. Okay, every 2 days. So for the first 2 days, it's $14.20. Second, for days 3 through 4, $14.70. 4 through 5, $14.97, and 5 through 7, $16.98. Okay, this will let you know, and we send emails as well. Okay, now don't worry about this not populating. I'm using an incognito window, so it's not going to populate on my end. Now, if I go down here, this handsome gentleman, Joe, can you the gentleman,
hey, Joe.
The gentleman that just waved his hand back there.
Hey, Joe.
There is a 3-minute and 44-second intro video for the trial. This will explain exactly what it is you need to do to get the best out of your trial membership. Also, okay, right on the page here, we have our full list of social media accounts because we do get a lot of people that impersonate us. So we want to make sure that you guys know exactly who we are and where you can find more information about us. And all of those links are here. Everything in blue and green you have access to. Everything in red you do not. So if you click a red item, it takes you to a sales page. So all you got to do to go back is just click the back arrow. So again, everything in blue and green you have access to as part of your trial, including our watch list for the day, announcements and schedules. So as part of the trial, you get access to how to trade a stock market crash for huge profit, a report that Mike put together, top 2022 stock market outlook. We have an entire getting started section for you. Full economic calendar. This is all part of the trial that you guys have access to. Okay? Start with this video. Then you have access to the trading chat room. So you'll click here. You'll scroll down. It says you are registered. Okay? As you can see, your date, the start date of your trial membership is at 7:30 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning because the chat room is closed right now. The chat room is open from 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Okay? So tomorrow, you sign up tonight, you can go through the courses, but you will be able to access chat starting at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. Your chat room experience expires Friday, March 11th at 6:30 p.m. Okay? So all you have to do once you log in is just click enter the chat room. If you did it now, the chat room is closed. Okay? Our trade idea scanner, are you still streaming it? That's all right. You don't have to do it right now. During the day, we stream live our trade ideas scanner. All of the setups are submitted by members. We have you get full access to our trade history of every mod because at True Trading Group, transparency is everything for us. So you will be able to see overall win-loss ratio and trades, but then also you'll be able to click on an individual mod. Just give it a second to load. And you will be able to see every single detail of their trade. The wins, the losses, the break-evens, everything. Okay? Then you have access to the courses. So we start with understanding what's possible. There's Mike. Beautiful man. All of our courses, right? Like I said, this is an intro. Welcome to TTG3 and our first course. This is all about understanding what's possible in the stock market, right? So right here, we start with Chapter 1, Introduction to True Trading Group. You have a video, there's a whole presentation. Then you would mark it as complete. And then there's a lot more chapters and lessons within these courses, but I'm just going over it quickly. Then you have access to our premium blog. This is important because every day we don't just post that one watch list that you saw, we post our main trade watch list and alerts. So this is a summary of all the alerts from today. Okay? Everything. Then you have in the morning the top 3 things to watch in the market for the day, a specific watch list for swing trading, a specific watch list for options, and then different mods also have their own watch list during the day. So you guys are getting a lot of information, for the $3. This is literally the best $3 you will ever spend. If you're waiting for Monday, don't. Do it tonight, because once I make the announcement tomorrow, anyone that signs up tonight for the trial, I'm going to give a ridiculous price to sign up for tomorrow with, plus incentive. But that will only be for people that sign up for the trial tonight. And that is our trial. Okay? That is what you get for the $3. If you wanted to access the Benzinga newsfeed while the chat room is closed, this is how you would do it. You click on Trading Chat Room, click on Enter the Chat Room. It's going to be closed, but on the top right, you have the Benzinga logo. Click it. And there you go. That's how you access it as a trial while the chat room is closed. You also have access to our room drive as a trial. Our room drive is amazing. There is a tremendous amount of information that we put in here for you guys. If you're brand new, how about beginner lingo and abbreviations? How about, let's see, trade mods history, we have it, private messages, simulator, how to build a watch list. Mike did this a little while ago, right?
Yeah, not too long ago.
This is how you build a pre-market watch list, right? From soup to nuts. Then you have, you know what else? You also have access to our trading journal as a trial member. Instructions are right here. You also have access to common chart patterns. There's a tremendous amount of info you get as part of our trial membership. It's literally the best $3 you will ever spend. And it is a mere fraction of what you get as a full member. All right, guys?
You can't even get a gallon of gas for $3.
No, inflation's killing it.
Look what you're getting for $3.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that is what you get. All right. I highly suggest that you guys go to ttg3.com. That's ttgthree.com. Sign up for the $3 trial tonight. and I will make you a deal so ridiculous tomorrow that you will have no choice but to sign up, because there will be zero way that you can lose.
I like the sound of that.
If you are an existing trial member, make sure your butts are in chat tomorrow morning, because I'm going to make you an offer that is ridiculous for you to join and to be a part of True Trading Group. You're going to want to be in chat tomorrow morning. Some big changes coming to True Trading Group for the better. That is my job. Mike's job is to work with the moderators and help you guys to, be the best traders you can be and to make money. My job is to make sure this business continues to provide insane value for you, to all current members, potential members, and anyone that is interested. Spend the $3. Don't wait. There's no reason to wait for $3. Spend it tonight, get it done, and make sure you are in chat tomorrow morning when I make this offer. Again, when you sign up, I'm going to walk you through this one more time. When you sign up, you are able to you are sent to your dashboard. Click on Trading Chat Room. It's this green button here. You will then click Enter Chat Room at 7:30 a.m. Yes, if you are a beginner with zero experience, this is the only thing you should sign up for.
Yeah, seriously. If you guys are brand new, if you guys are brand new and you literally know nothing, I really suggest you just go through the trial and experience what it's like to be part of the family, and go through some of the courses and being in chat with us. I think it's a good way for you guys to really just get started and familiarize yourself and go through the courses that are part of the trial, and then becoming a full-time member. Even if you guys have never done any of this before, in True Trading Group, you guys understand something. There are so many members in TTG that knew absolutely nothing when they first joined. And now they're doing well and they're making money. I'll prove it to you actually. Guys, if you're a member of TTG, if you knew absolutely nothing when you first joined, but now you're making money, type the number 1 in chat, please. Just pay attention to the people that are going to type this. These are people that literally never traded a stock a day in their life, and then they joined True Trading Group, and now they're making money. So there are so many members of True Trading Group that started off completely brand new, just like you are, and now with the education, the tools, resources, and everything, now they're doing well and making money. So to answer your question, undoubtedly yes.
I also want to say that for those of you that are seeing a blurry image on Mike's side, this is not how our chat room is during the day. Mike has a little bit of work to do on his setup for these live streams. That is not a reflection of our chat during the day. During the day, I get that question a lot. Like if I barely see Mike is fuzzy, I set my setting all the way up on YouTube. Don't worry about that for the chat room. The chat room is different. He's sharing his screen in there, and all the mods are sharing their screen, so you can see it crystal clear. On YouTube, it's different. Mike and I are not in the same place. I'm the brains behind a lot of this, so I'm going to have to sit down with Mike and set him up appropriately. And let's welcome Tyler and Narav to the trial. Welcome, guys. All right.
Welcome. Welcome to the trial, guys. Tyler and Narav, newest trial members of the TTG fam.
Right, and you can zoom into the chat room. Absolutely. So there's our chat room is something special. It's a lot to take in immediately, but it is absolutely phenomenal. It's unlike anything you've ever experienced. It blows Discord, Telegram, and all that other crap out of the window.
Yeah. Somebody else also asked, how does this work if you're in Europe?
It works just fine.
We have so many members from Europe. We have members from all over the world.
All over the world.
We have members in Japan, in the Philippines, in Australia, in India, in Russia, in the Netherlands, in Italy, in Spain, the UK, Canada, Nigeria. We have members literally all over the world. So it works absolutely just fine if you are in Europe.
Yep. So that's it, guys. Sign up for the trial. Go to ttg3.com. Welcome, Mike. Welcome, Mike, to the trial.
Welcome,
I'm
Mike.
telling you, go spend the $3.
Hey, Adam, here's something cool, actually. Somebody, Money Trade says, I've been in chat rooms before. Is there too many people in there? How can I make sure that I only see good traders? Why don't you tell people about speaking of how amazing our chat room is.
That is a big explanation. But what we've,
briefly, just so they understand.
So guys, our chat room, like I said, is unlike anything you've ever seen before. Okay. We have 40 at any given time, there's between 2,500 and 3,100 people at one time in the chat. There is about 4,500 unique people that come in and out of the chat during the day. Okay? We have multiple filters that are built into the chat that are based on experience level, interest, things you're actively trading, and people you follow and or mute. We could have 20,000 people in our chat room, and you will only see the things that you want to see without missing one single alert. We have spent years and incredible amount of money building this for you. It is unlike anything else you've ever been a part of. All right? It is pretty damn impressive. I strongly suggest explain unique people in chat. So if you only wanted to see all the people that went through the courses, if you wanted to see all the mods plus people that went through the courses, if you wanted to see people that are only interested in day trading options that went through all the courses and that are advanced traders, you could just see them. It's whatever it is that you want to see. It is a hybrid of like a social media chat platform. I'm telling you, it is fantastic. There are not multiple rooms. Everybody's in the same room. There are no broken conversations. And
it really is incredible.
It really is. Absolutely. It is phenomenal. Put it this way, if TTG goes out of business tomorrow, we could sell that chat room platform for at least 50 to 70 million bucks. Okay? Kind of like my ace in the hole there.
We got some new members, Adam, Ken, Arlene, and Dante.
Welcome.
Everybody welcome Ken, Arlene, and Dante, the newest members of our trial. Folks, it's $3. You got nothing to lose.
I'm telling you, it's worth its weight in gold. This will be the best $3 you ever spend, even more so because of what I'm going to do tomorrow morning. If you're
what are you going to do tomorrow morning?
I am going to make a pretty substantial offer to every trial member that we have.
Too late. They start shooting in a week. I'm going to make them an
Joe's
offer.
Getting good.
That was me. Come on. Give me some credit.
So sign up for the trial. It's $3. Don't wait till Monday. I'm not going to make you the same offer on Monday, despite the fact that we do run the best infomercial in the world. I don't need your money. Neither does Mike. We get plenty of people that sign up on a daily basis. That's not going to stop anytime soon. Do you know why? Because people are actually making money. As long as people are making money with True Trading Group, we don't have to worry about people signing up. So I don't need to offer this on Monday. What I'm telling you is that you're going to want to do it tomorrow. Or at least be in the position to hear me out tomorrow. You can always tell me no. You can always tell me no. No hard feelings. You get the whole week. No harm, no foul.
Yeah.
But you're going to say yes. So
TTG fam, you think what? I want me to prove a point to you. All of you that are considering the trial, watch this. If you're a member of True Trading Group, how long until you joined from your trial? Because your trial is 7 days long. How long did it take you to become a full-time member? I'm curious. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that information. So if you are a member now, but you started as a trial, how long did it take as a trial? Did you sign up like 1 day, 2 days? So here, let's look at this. Sherry G, a few hours, 2 days, 2 days, 2 days, 3 hours, 1 day, 2 days, second day, 3 days, 2 days, 1 day, 1 day. Guys, ask yourself why that is.
yeah, why didn't they just wait the
Why
7 days?
why didn't they become a member? Why didn't they use the entire week? Why not use the full week, the 1 week trial? You get 7 days, but they're joining in 1, 2, 3 days because as soon as you see how we operate during the day in our chat room, as soon as you use,
Yeah, but it's not even just that. The caliber of people,
right?
Everything that comes together, everything that you get.
Jimmy G goes, the TTG trial leads to a TTG addiction.
Spend the $3. Don't be an idiot.
Spend
the $3. The worst thing that happens, you spend $3, you realize it's not for you. You made me $3 richer, and then you save yourself a ton of time because then you don't need to worry about, well, I don't know if TTG is right for me. I have to listen to this guy spiel us every night just to figure out what's going to happen on the SPY. Now you don't need to worry about it. You did the trial, you figured out it's not for you, and you just stay on the live stream and exist.
Exist.
You know? $3 to figure out if you want to listen, to us ever again. Spend it. We're not getting rich off your $3, I promise.
There you go. Just go to ttgthree.com. Join us for that full 1 week trial. Remember, you get it Friday to Friday, folks.
And that's it. We're not showing the platform tonight. There is no membership sales tonight. We have to make some changes this evening. I got my work cut out for me. But yeah.
Hey, look at Lynn M goes, I signed up for the trial. I thought there was no way that they were going to get me to sign up. But on day 2, I was sold and I signed up. There you go, man.
It's the truth.
It really is.
Guys, we come on here every night. We do our best to sell you a membership. And our members come on here to support us. They're not getting paid to be here. Here's what you need to look for. Our members watch the live stream to support us. A lot of them also, when they come on here, they're waiting for a code word. That code word, if they can, so the way that works is if they could give us every code word for like 2 weeks in a row, if their name is called, they win $500. And we do this every 2 weeks. We give away $5,000 to our members. Watch what happens when we give the code word away. We give the code word out. We go through our whole sales process, and they're still on here. Why? They have no reason in the world. There's 531 people on here. 12% of them are not members. I'm looking at the poll in chat. 88% of them are members. Why are you here? How does this benefit them?
We got to welcome Jermaine and Steve. Jermaine and Steve, welcome to the family, guys.
Somebody says, Michael Dreher says, by doing giveaways, you really diminish the value of your platform. Not true. Not true. Here's the way I look at it, Michael. Right? Let's talk business for a second, Michael.
He said, okay? I think being genuine makes more sense than some sales promo.
Let's make more sense. Let's talk for a second. Okay? True Trading Group grew grassroots. Our members told other people, they come on the live stream, they support us. We do not have to spend hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of marketing per month. A lot of that money, there's a choice. We can put that money back in my pocket and Mike's pocket. Mike, you like money?
I love money.
I love money.
I like mahogany.
Or we could give some. We could literally take that money and reinvest it back into the members. To kind of share the wealth a bit. Did you know, Michael, that from the end of 2020 all the way to the end of 2021, we actually gave away $1 million.
Yep.
See, the phrases right there. I love money is a cheap sell for me. I hate money. I just want to.
I hate money, Michael.
Michael, here. How about this?
You hate money too, I guess, Michael.
Let me try a different approach, Michael. You ready? Are you tired of losing money every day? Do you want to be a millionaire? We're here to help you. We want to make sure that you can make generational wealth for your family. And if you invest right now in yourself, you can have everything you want. Lambos, mansions, men, women, non-binary people, whatever you want. Just sign up for True Trading Group. Boatloads of cash and boats. How about that? You want to do something like that?
I don't blame it. I mean, listen, I get it. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of other groups and programs and services that are out there. And there's a reason to be skeptical. Honestly, they're really True Trading Group. Our goal really is to disrupt and change this entire industry. And I get Michael's, maybe Michael's hesitation, but that is a fact.
$3, bro.
Hold on. Well, that is a fact, Michael. We actually did give away $1 million from the end of 2020. I think it was November of 2020 through up until December of last year. Over $1 million we gave back to our teaching members. And that's something I'm really damn proud of. And I'm not going to
do it again, but I am proud of it.
That's something I'm really damn proud of, and was happy to do. So, I'm not going to, some people don't get it, and that doesn't really matter. The THD fam, they get it. They like it. We enjoyed it. It's something that I'm proud that we were able to do. But that's not.
Look, I could have either put that money back in my pocket and Mike's pocket, or we could give it back to our members. That's it.
Michael, do me a favor, brother. And I'm talking from one Michael to another. Michael, join the trial. Trade with me and the rest of the moderators in TG and the rest of the TG family. Trade with us for 1 week. Trade with us for 1 week, and then you make a decision. There's a lot of, I can tell, Michael, that you've already probably been a part of other groups that are completely full of shit. And there's a lot of members in True Trading Group that have also experienced a lot of the negativity in other groups and services that you probably have as well. And I'd like to actually see from my members, if you were a part of a different group in the past, but now you are a member of True Trading Group and you wish you found True Trading Group first, I'd like for you to type the number 1 in chat right now. So I get it. Listen, there's a lot of people out there that don't actually know what they're doing. They sell you a dream rather than actually give you an education that's going to help. But Mike, just check out the number 1s that are coming through chat right now, bro. These are people that have been through a similar experience as you. They've joined other services. They've been scammed. They lost a lot of money. They got no help. They learned nothing, and were just upsold other programs and packages and never ever learned anything. And now here they are telling you, man, I wish that I joined True Trading Group first, because once you find TTG, you realize that this is your home. There's a reason why 77% that's our retention rate. We retain 77% of our members. That is because they are renewing their yearly membership, or they've decided to become a lifetime member of True Trading Group. And it's simply because people make money and become better traders, and the results speak for themselves. So rather than try to, continue to go over things here on a live stream. Mike, spend $3, bro. Get your butt in chat, trade with us for an entire week, and then make a decision.
Mike, come in chat, join the $3 trial. If you feel like we're completely full of crap and it's all just, car salesman tactics, I'll personally give you $100.
There you go, Mike. Mike, it's a free $100, dude. It's a free $100.
I don't need your $3, man. I just want you to.
I love when people
are the other direction. I just want you to be able to come on here and say it.
It's the people. Oh, nice. Mike, he said, sure, sounds good. Mike, we're dead serious too, Mike. If you do the trial, bro, if you're not satisfied with True Trading Group at the end, Adam will give you $100. That's real talk. I actually, and I really do hope that you do actually do the trial, Mike, because I personally, I love, and these are some of the people that I've become the closest with, are the people that are very, very, very negative and very, very skeptical. And then when they actually come to True Trading Group and they realize, like, wow, these guys actually are legit, and I was wrong. First of all, I love the "I told you so." I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, honestly, that's why I do it. That's why I do it, because I know that that's coming. Because Mike, I can already tell Michael has a little bit of experience, and Michael probably is like a level-headed person for the most part, judging by his comments. I love the fact that we're going to get an "I told you so" moment out of it.
Yeah. And it's often those people that we become the closest with, oddly enough, are the people that are negative and are skeptical. And then they realize, like, wow, okay, these.
We love those people. We love the people that are negative and skeptical.
Chris Pontus.
Chris Pontus was a real pain in our ass for a while, but you know what? He signed up and he's a lifetime member, man. Dude's been around forever.
Yeah. Chris is one of the TTG OGs now.
If you're skeptical of True Trading Group, you should be. You have two people, one of them with a Jersey accent, another one is a handsome young Jewish kid, and we're trying to sell you $1,000 plus membership on stock education. You should be skeptical. You'd be an idiot not to be skeptical.
Is my accent? Is it really that bad?
Yeah, it's bad.
It's not bad.
It's up there.
I don't think it's bad.
Welcome, Vedran.
Vedran, welcome. Newest member of the trial. Welcome, Vedran.
I'm just saying that you.
Oh, Matt, who sounds like a Newark accent. There's my Jersey boy right there. I grew up not too far from Newark. He's a Jersey boy.
Yeah. Yes, it sounds completely normal to me.
Because Jason's also from Jersey.
I'm just saying that, there's a reason we are who we are and we've grown the way that we've grown.
Yeah. Don't waste any more time, guys. Don't even think about it. It's $3.
Sign up for the trial. It's $3.
Go to TTG, THR.
If nothing else, sign up tonight. Use our stuff. Use our stuff for a week. You don't even have to go and chat. Use the Benzinga newsfeed for $3 for 7 days.
Yeah.
That's huge.
That is huge.
News doesn't stop over the weekends, and futures open Sunday night.
Yep.
Don't wait till Monday. Sign up tonight, and you get to, hear me spiel a little bit tomorrow to you and try and convince you to sign up, and then you could tell me no, and then I'll be like, but what about this free toaster? And you'll be like, does it come with a loaf of bread? And I'll be like, all right, you got me, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
Sign up for the trial. It's $3. Yeah. All right.
Join us. Get your butts in chat. Final trading day of the week tomorrow. Go through some of the courses over the weekend. Get your butts in chat back on Monday, and let's get ready to rock and roll. Kick some ass. These news headlines are not stopping. Russia, Ukraine, moving markets. And I think that you're going to continue to see that volatility, and you can continue to see some whipsaw type of days where you're going to get big moves up, big moves down. There's a lot of money to be made doing that, folks. So take advantage of the trial. TTG, THREE. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications because you never want to miss out on any of these. We do these live streams.
Trial members and existing trial members, new trial members and existing trial members, make sure you are in chat tomorrow morning early. I will be in there in the morning. I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse.
There it is. That's my boy. There it is.
All right, I'm going to go watch the new Batman movie now.
Oh, it's out?
Yeah, tonight. Yeah.
All right, have fun. Enjoy. I still haven't seen the new Spider-Man movie yet.
Yeah, that's because you're terrible.
I am. I'm a terrible
Is the
person.
chat room compatible with any smartphone? Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. We also, yeah.
No, not for trial. We don't. So.
Oh, no, I was going to talk just in general when you become a full-time member, but
don't confuse them.
I won't confuse you. All right, guys, that's it. TTGTHREE.com. I'll see my new trial members in chat. Guys, don't forget, Adam's going to give you an offer that you can't refuse. So make sure that you're in chat tomorrow morning. Take advantage of it. And we'll see you guys all in chat tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody. Later, guys.